2 bumps, 2 drill holes on white wall. A wall of creative thinking, a studio, an artist studio at a university institution. Coated with white paint, emulsion paint. Bump on left 0.4 centimeters wide, 0.5 centimeters long. Bump on right 0.4 centimeters wide, 0.6 centimeters long. Diagonally apart, 6.1 centimeters apart from each other. Grey metal scratch from my tape measure. Tiny bubbles from the white paint layers. Blue tint from what lies beneath. 2 mini volcano-like bumps, with a hole going through the wall. Crusted rough edges of the hole. Smooth gradient from bump to surface as it's been merged by the white paint. 2 bumps at the centre of my focus on the wall, one more prominent than the other. Tilt my head until they become level with each other, completing a face with my mind, connecting the dots. Brush strokes moulded from the paint. 8 minutes of looking. 6 centimetres from anything else on the wall, from the left bump. 5.7 centimetres from anything on the wall, from the right bump. 0.3 square-like paint on the left. A 2.9 long clump of paint to the top of the right bump. More grey metal marks from my tape measure. 14.5 centimetre radius from the left bump, including 13 marks, splats, grazes, bumps, skid. 9 faint pencil lines from working out both radius. 3 suspicious light grey grazes. 14.5 centimetre radius from the right bump includes 16 marks, splats, grazes, bumps, skid. 15 pencil marks from working out both radius. 30 minutes 52 seconds of looking. 63.4 centimetres between bumps and the distance of my eye. 207.4 centimetres furthest distance. 4 minutes and 22 seconds to work that out. 38 seconds of looking. Bumps are just below half of the distance of the wall. 244.7 centimetres length of the wall. Bump on the left is 112 centimetres up from the bottom of the wall. 32 minutes and 4 seconds. 121.5 centimetre width of the wall. My wall. My personal space. 1 person per space. Availability, Monday to Friday between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Saturday between the hours of 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. as long as there are more than 3 people in their studio space. 38 minutes and 30 seconds of looking. Blank representations of the white paint. Mask in the marks left in the wall. Merge in the partition between bump and flat surface. Neutral, open-minded, detached, clinical, impersonal, removed. Light catching the top of the 2 bumps. Light coming from behind me, casting a shadow that makes the bumps appear bigger, creating more depth. Drilled from my side of the wall, bumps appear reversed, racking my brain to figure out when they were made. Awkward relation to each bump. Lengths of what would have been attached would be different due to bumps' positionings. 42 minutes 57 seconds of looking. My eyes wander around me more. More brush strokes become visible. 2 paintbrush hairs embossed in the white paint. Imagining something between them. A hanging hammock between the bumps. Imagine the drill-in motion, rotation, incomplete surface with 2 new holes. Drill in, then drill out. Remembering the slight noise of the wood cracking. How thick is the wall? 12 millimeters thick. Good wood. Did it reach the other side? 57 minutes of looking. No marks left on the other side. Occupied by another. More creative work fills the space. Another white wall as it's found. Stacked grey painted pieces of art opposite. Same space but different. 6.5 centimetres between me and those in front. Screws must have been less than the wall's thickness. 10mm, 70mm, 80mm, 60mm, 50mm, 40mm, 30mm, screws. 20mm, 30mm, 40mm, pins. Dewalt battery pack 18 volts. Dewalt drill, the creator. The balance of getting the screws flat. 1 hour and 7 minutes of looking. Drill and the screw go hand in hand, neither fully function without the other. What pressure was applied to the drill and the screw to formulate the two bumps? A small pin, a small drill bit, a small nail, a straw, the lead of a pencil, a pipe cleaner, a prong from a fork, a cut-off piece of nail, a thin piece of copper-coated spot welding metal. Twig, the plastic end part of a shoelace, a single strand of hair. The more I stare at the two bumps, I wonder how I would replace them. I see nothing else but the two bumps. 1 hour and 22 minutes. Polyfiller. A piece of white paper may cover them, or what about coloured paper? Make it covered and noticed. Place a person in front of it. More paint. A pretty poster. A screen print. A word from a book I found inspirational. More dramatic holes to make these ones less visible. Mix the polyfiller up. Grab a filler knife. Scoop an amount of polyfiller that is a similar size to a pea. Place it onto your filler knife and begin to spread it over the two holes. Evenly. Then when hard, get a sheet of sandpaper and rub the sandpaper into the bump. Until smooth. Although I still see it there, it begins to have its own existence. 1 hour and 52 minutes of looking. The two holes are now the main feature on my wall. I will never not be able to notice these two bumps. As my voice gets stiffer, it becomes harder to speak. I have less to say about the two bumps, as they've now exceeded the physical aesthetics. The list I've made describes the two bumps I've redesigned through language. Two bumps I did not create. 4 hours, 7 minutes and 41 seconds of looking.